Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and in the Weekdays with Bernie segment tonight, as you may have noticed, I have stepped out of my role as an analyst and taken on an advocacy position this week. The petition on BillO'Reilly.com for Kate's Law calls for Congress to pass legislation that would mandate felons who return to the USA after being deported serve 5 years in prison. Second offense, 10 years. Also, other people who come back after deportation would be punished as well, the misdemeanor people. Again, that is an advocacy position. It's not analysis. Joining us from North Carolina, the purveyor of BernardGoldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. So am I still doing my job, or have I stepped away?
Well, Bill, this is an opinion show. It's not a hard news show. It's not the CBS Evening News. And I think what you did by advocating for that law was well within the boundaries of opinion journalism. But advocacy can go too far. And in my opinion, last night, you crossed the line. You went too far. Having Jesse Waters go before the city council in San Francisco and make a sanctimonious speech about the evils of sanctuary cities crosses a line.
Why?
I was sitting.
Why?
Because
his only forum was, so I can explain, he and others who were there had an opportunity to tell the city supervisors of San Francisco how they felt. So he was doing what their format dictated.
If he went as a private citizen, I'd say fine. If he goes as a representative of Fox News, as he did, and he announced that,
yes,
it's wrong. It's just as wrong as if MSNBC sent somebody out to a city council someplace in America and advocated for something that you and I don't agree with. We would say, what a bunch of clowns. You just don't do that. That crosses a line. And I'll tell you this. I was sitting at home watching that, sitting on my couch, and I was embarrassed watching it.
See, I wasn't.
I
thought Waters did a good job because he asked questions. They obviously weren't going to answer them.
You don't ask it in that forum. You and I simply disagree on this.
All right.
I thought it was wrong.
If I had been there,
I
would have done it differently. I would have been tougher than Waters, and I would have called them out by name. I would have gone down the line.
It's one thing to stick a microphone in their face and ask those tough questions. It's another to stand as a representative of Fox News at the podium at a public hearing and make a speech. That is just look, even opinion journalism has rules, and that
but that was
the rules.
Again, that was the forum that he had, and that. But okay, I got your point. I think he did a decent job. But it's all about me, Bernie. You know that. It's all about me.
There's a bulletin, right?
So now I said this on the Hammer program this morning. I have to do this because they're not going to do it in Congress or unless there's someone like me with the forum that I have, all right, to put pressure on them to pass this Kate's Law, which I think is a good shot at getting passed, but it should have been passed decades ago. I mean, six times for this guy to come back?
Let me say two things. The first thing I already said, which is you're well within the bounds of opinion journalism. No problem there. The second thing is a political statement. I think it's such a good idea that if the Republican presidential candidates don't embrace it, they don't deserve to be elected.
That's how good
an idea I think it is.
Everyone that comes on is going, and we're even going to go further than that. I mean, we're going to take our petition. We're hoping to get 500,000 to 1 million signatures. We're going to take it up to the Speaker of the House, John Boehner, to the Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell. We're going to give it to them. We're going to ask them for comments on it. So we're going to shepherd this thing through. But I kind of did get the press that I have to do it. And I hearken back, and I'm certainly not comparing myself to Edward R. Murrow, but he was the first guy that did this on television. He's CBS,
right.
And he did a show called Harvest of Shame, where he showed the deplorable conditions that migrants, and some Americans as well, all right, were working under in the fields of this country. He embarrassed the government to pass certain labor laws to protect these poor people. He was way out top saying, you guys are pinheads because you're allowing this to happen. It wasn't just like, both sides of the story. And again, I'm not comparing myself to Murrow, but he was the first one, and the Congress responded to him.
Yes. Here's the thing about the sainted, and I don't mean that sarcastically, the sainted Edward R. Murrow, the great Edward R. Murrow. He started this whole thing. He started this thing where fact-based journalism collides with opinion journalism. He would do a documentary, an hour documentary, and for 55 minutes it would be well-reported facts about migrants, about Senator McCarthy, whatever it was. And then in the last few minutes, he'd deliver a sermonette. He would tell us how he feels, even though he would probably masquerade it as analysis, it was really opinion, and he would be telling us how we as decent Americans should also feel. He started this whole thing, and we're seeing what he started on cable news every night of the week. I will add one thing. I'm going right up against the line here. I'll add one small thing. Fred Friendly, who you may know, the late Fred Friendly, who produced Harvest of Shame, never sent Edward R. Murrow out to a city council meeting in Florida to advocate for laws to protect migrant labor.
You know why that was, though?
Yeah, I think I know why, but it's going to be different from what you think. I think it would be because you just don't do that.
No, he didn't think of it, Bernie. That's why he didn't do it. Bernie Goldberg, everybody. Dana Perino on deck.